Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
Imagine a pricing model that predicts demand perfectly and sits unused while competitors take margin. Last quarter, a national retailer I advised found a 6-week pricing test would have recovered roughly $2 million in margin if decisions had been owned. That's the difference between models and value. I'm your host, Mirko. We explore how data science and AI drive real business impact, straight from the leaders making it happen. Today, I'll give you a practical playbook to turn model outputs into repeatable, auditable decisions that move KPIs. Expect clear trade-offs, short examples, and 2 actions you can start this week.
If you're running a P&L, a roadmap, or a data org, this is for you. I'll be direct. The technology is rarely the limiter. It's the decisioning around it.
I'll be blunt. I've seen brilliant models die on the vine.
Teams optimize AUC, ship the code, and then no one owns the decision that needs to change. The model runs, and revenue doesn't.
Right, and that's what keeps leaders awake at night.
That tension, models versus decisions, is the thread I want you to follow today. So what do I mean by decision intelligence? Simply, connect predictive signals to operational choices, human judgment, incentives, and feedback, so a prediction actually changes an outcome.
Think in 2 buckets: tactical decisions, frequent, repeatable, and often automatable, and strategic decisions, rarer, higher stakes, and human-led. Where should you automate? Where should a human still decide? Those are design questions, not technology debates.
Let me bring this to life with 3 places most enterprises can relate to: pricing, fraud triage, and supply chain replenishment. We'll be concrete, not theoretical.
Start with pricing. A model will tell you elasticities and recommended discounts by segment, but the decision is applying price changes at scale. Set decision boundaries, what you can change automatically, what needs manager approval, and what requires cross-functional sign-off. Drive those boundaries by value at risk, regulatory limits, and the speed needed to capture opportunity.
For example, a mid-size retailer automated 22% of discount decisions in a 6-week pilot and ran a randomized rollout across stores. The result? A 2.4 percentage point gross margin lift in treated stores and no increase in customer complaints. Clear, attributable value.
So, who benefits and how do you know? You measure margin lift, conversion delta, and check customer feedback. Don't report just model accuracy. Report business impact.
Fraud triage is a speed versus precision problem. Automate the high certainty blocks, the clear fraud, and route ambiguous cases to investigators. But set SLAs for review, log investigator decisions, and feed those labels back to the model on a regular cadence. Measure downstream impact, chargeback dollars avoided, investigator throughput, and customer friction.
Supply chain is about interdependence. A reorder quantity is only valuable if procurement, warehouse, and sales act on it. Map the decision owners, escalation paths, and the operational rhythm. Who can override the model and when? Incentives must align to the decision, not just the forecast.
Across these cases, 3 themes repeat: clear decision boundaries, measurable KPIs tied to outcomes, and feedback loops that close the learning cycle.
And let's be honest about trade-offs. Push automation too fast and you get brittle systems that miss context. Keep humans in for everything and you never scale. The pragmatic path: start with low-risk automation, measure impact, then expand as evidence supports it.
Measurement is the linchpin. Run causal experiments, A/B tests, randomized rollouts, or quasi-experimental designs that link decision changes to business outcomes. For pricing, measure margin and conversion. For fraud, chargebacks and churn. For supply chain, fill rate and working capital. Without causality, you're guessing at ROI.
One common failure: conflating model performance with decision effectiveness. A statistically excellent model can still produce negligible impact if downstream rules or incentives are wrong.
Ask early, what decisions change because of this model, and how will we measure that change?
Ownership looks different here. You need decision owners, people measured on the outcomes of decisions, not just the model. Often that means moving accountability into the business lines with SLAs and clear escalation. Without that, models become nice-to-have features, not drivers of value.
Who's on the hook when things go sideways? That's the real governance question.
Exactly. Governance changes when the product is a decision. Keep audit trails for inputs, model versions, decision logic, and human overrides. You need to reconstruct who decided what, when, and why if something goes wrong. It's not bureaucracy, it's defensibility.
Budgeting and incentives must follow the decision. If data science is judged on model accuracy, while commercial teams are judged on revenue, you'll get misalignment. Share upside and downside with decision owners. That alignment is the grease that moves models from prototypes into predictable value. Looking ahead, 2 things matter most over the next 12 to 24 months. 1. Operational tooling. Better human-in-the-loop platforms and native audit capabilities. 2. Measurement at scale. Robust causal inference built into the deployment pipeline. Invest in engineering for decisions and experiments that prove value. Risks to watch. Over-automation that misses edge cases, unclear attribution that blurs credit, and cultural resistance to shifting ownership. Mitigate by prescribing human gates, running A/B tests to prove causality, and forming a decision council to align stakeholders.
Practically speaking, 2 actions to start this week. 1. Pick one high-frequency decision, fraud triage or a promotional price change, and map the full flow from signal to outcome. Identify the owner, the SLA, the human gates, and the KPI you'll use to measure impact. 2. Design a simple experiment, a randomized rollout or holdout to measure causality. Even a small test gives you defensible evidence.
Models are powerful, but they only change lives and numbers if someone owns the decision. That's the difference between models and value. If this episode resonated, map one decision and run one test this week. Those 2 moves will give you evidence to scale or to stop fast. If you want frameworks and case studies, let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm Mirko Peters.
If you found this episode valuable, subscribe and share it with your network. We'll be back with more conversations on how data science and AI create real business impact. Until next time.
That's the difference between models and value.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.